Hey guys, we're out here with the ZX6R, the 2007. We're going to do a first ride on it. I've only ridden this on the test ride, so this is going to be a true first impression video. And I'll give you guys my thoughts on it, the seating position, Ergos, and how the motor feels in the 600 Super Sport. We've had a lot of bikes in this channel, but this is the first 600 Super Sport, so we can compare this to the R1, S1000R, things like that. So it's going to be a good video. Let's take a listen to the M4 exhaust here on this. It's got a full system, I believe, and then we'll get out on the road. All right, get it started up here. Give it a little crank. Man, that is a good sounding system, isn't it? Maybe one more. All right, see you guys out on the road. How's it going? We are out on the 07 ZX6R here, and this exhaust is really loud. That's my first impression. The M4 exhaust, this probably needs some baffles or something, because even with earplugs on, I cannot hear myself talk. So, it's a very loud exhaust, and we've got about 21,000 miles on this bike. On the usual route here. Sorry, neighbors here. So we're gonna hit some twisties on the way up here. First impressions here, this bike definitely has very sport bike-like ergos. It's not as bad, I don't think, as an R6, but it's sport bike plenty for me. You're not even getting up into the power band until you get over 8,000, and even in the real juice is above 10 on these guys. A little bit of snatchiness off idle there. Okay, that was the rev limiter there in second. A little smooth roll on there, that wasn't full throttle. This corner here. This has pilot power 2 CTs on it. They feel okay. They're not great. Suspension's pretty stiff on this guy, but I haven't adjusted the suspension yet. It's fully adjusted here. The power is very gradual on this bike. It's not really scary at all. It doesn't have a lot of torque down low, so it's not like the Super Duke where you're gonna like scare the crap out of yourself. But this can still get away from you. I still don't think beginners should start at 600s. They can get away from you. That being said, the brakes are quite good on this, so you can stop yourself pretty quickly. Take a left up here. If things start to get away from you, I'll show you a brake test up here. Oh, got a doggo here. Get away from the doggo. Alright, so we'll put on a first here, and I'll show you a little. Any behind us or behind us? Okay. So we're doing like what? Like 40 here? Yeah, these brakes are really good. They're really good. They feel good too. I'm going to replace the fluid in these, front and rear, and it should, increase the braking power a little bit. Also, you guys do yourselves a favor and adjust your controls. So this one's okay in my left. If you see down here on my right, this control here, it's way too high. It needs to come down so that your fingers are, your fingers come down from your body. They should be in line with the controls, not sticking up like this. It's very uncomfortable for your wrist. I don't know how people ride that way. You can only ride this way if you don't constantly cover your front brake, which you should on the street, in my opinion. Yeah, I am not used to these Ergos, so my lines are pretty sloppy on this bike. It's funny how much Ergos affects your lines and your riding. Especially how misadjusted the brakes on here. How like misadjusted this is for me on my right hand, the brakes. It really affects like how much throttle I can grab. And it's getting a little bit dark up here in these in the ridge. It might be a little dangerous up here with the deer and stuff, so we may have to take it a little slow. It's a little darker up here than I anticipated. Man, this bike is so loud, guys. It is so loud. I don't know if it's coming through in the microphone, but man, oh man, this thing is like, even with I got plugs in too in the helmet and everything, and it's like reverberating, that's the right word, in the helmet and everything. Whew. Very smooth though. The power in this guy is really smooth, and it feels like you're going a million miles an hour but only doing 60. Because of the sound in the body position, it feels like you're doing, it's very it has like an increased sense of speed compared to the GoPro 750 in the street triple where I'm more upright. Like I was only doing 60 back there, but it feels like, man, ooh, little jerky off throttle there. Maybe we might need to look at a tune or a power commander for this. Might have to think about that. And with how these are geared, I could probably take this whole area up here in like first gear, but I am not going to do that. At least not tonight. So down low there like that, down below, especially below 5,000, there's basically no juice in it. I mean, it has some torque, but for example, like when that dog ran out in front of us back there, when I tried to get on a little bit, like I normally do on like the naked bikes and such, to get away from a dog or something or animal, there was like nothing in it down below there, because I just come through that stop sign, and there was just nothing there. So let's talk about the Ergos here. Here now I'm slid all the way back on the seat. There's a lot of room. This is like too far back. Now I'm all the way forward. There is a huge difference in where you can sit on this. There's a lot of room on this seat. I would say actually too much, in my opinion. But it definitely lets you get into full tuck if you want, which we'll have to demonstrate up here. Some crap on the road. Okay, full tuck. Yeah, this seems to be, at least because I'm not used to this riding position, this is more work than the GoPro 750 or the Street Triple is, as far as just the physical demands of riding the motorcycle. I'm sure that will probably go away as I get used to these Ergos a little more. Oh yeah, that's a lot of power. We hit wide open throttle there in second, and we were not even that high in the RPMs. This has more than enough power. Look out, Mr. Birds. Man, the exhaust on this thing is just blisteringly loud. I'm in first gear here. Let's check how it feels coming out of this corner. Woo, bumpy up here. Could probably soften up the rear shock a little bit if I'm going to use this in the street. So this suspension's pretty stiff. It is a sport bike suspension, of course, but I haven't checked to see what the previous owners have done as far as the adjustment goes. So we'll have to check that and see where we're at with that. But it is pretty stiff right now. As you can probably see the camera bouncing around. But, you know, it is a sport bike, so I was expecting that. I guess probably, ooh, a lot of trash here. I guess probably better a little bit too stiff. than super wallowy and squishy, like what the MT7 was. That was a very squishy, oh, big bump, wallowy bike. So, oh yeah. Yeah, you're definitely revving the crap out of this bike to get any performance out of it. But such as that is super sport life. When you get up there, you really get up there. Like I said, the sense of speed on this is pretty extreme. Like, for a newer rider, I think this would be kind of scary, having just the total package of this, the sounds of this exhaust, and the way the top end comes on. Oh, I don't know what all that is in the road. That was weird. It's just pieces of leaves and stuff. Thought it was gravel. Very deceiving. All right, we're coming up to a few more twisties up here. Getting a little bit buggy out here tonight. Yeah, these tires are sticking good. So the suspension feels really good in the corners. It's a bit rough when we're going through stuff like this. Ugh. But it feels really good in the corners. Oh yeah, it feels excellent, guys. I like how the tank is set up so that you can just get right into the tank. Nice little pull there. So the bike seems to be running pretty good. This is literally the first time I've ridden this bike other than the test ride. It's running good. It sounds healthy. The clutch is engaging properly in all the gears. We'll probably have to do another what to look out for when buying used bikes. You know, like how to buy a used bike. Do like a checklist, that kind of thing. But ooh, lots of patches up here. We're gonna go hit another fast section up here in a second. Test. Yeah, the brakes are excellent in this bike. I'm not sure when the pads have been changed last, but there's definitely nothing wrong with these brakes. I would say that these are they're not as good as like the Street Triples Brembles that we had. I'm sorry, the Speed Triple, the 19 Speed Triple. I think that probably had better brakes than this. But you know, these are one of the better brakes that we've had. But yeah, this is a pretty committed riding position. If you guys can't tell by the way the video looks, it is quite a, I mean by the angle of the video, it's quite a committed riding position. More than I'm used to, but I will get used to it. I've had the R1 before, and you know, I would say that, at least from memory, this is almost more, this might be more committed than the R1. Missed the shifter there. Alright, so, what do I think of this bike? I think that's going to take some getting used to, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun once I get used to it and get used to this, this Ergo package. Obviously these aren't meant for long distance rides. They are meant for the twisties, and that's most of the riding that I do. This doesn't change directions like as quickly. Oh, looks like we're losing a wing here. Let's see if we can fix it. we're losing one of our this needs to be tightened down apparently. Yeah, it is what it is. We got a droopy mirror over here if you guys can see that. We got L droops on the right. We got to tighten up that bolt inside there. I have to find out if that bolt is on the inside of there, or if it's coming through the top, or what's going on there. Or maybe I'll just take them off. I might just unscrew them and take them off. Might be easier to deal with. Yeah, this bike just definitely gives you a low back workout. these bikes should not be giving you a wrist workout. Well, when you're doing a lot of brakes, they probably will. But it's mostly low back and hips and stuff and legs. If your wrists are getting sore, then you're putting too much weight on your wrists. So basically on public roads, to get in the power band of these bikes, you're going to be riding around in first and second gear. If you really want to like get up into the juice of these things, and that's just the way it is in the 600s. So that's kind of what you're buying into when you buy one of these. Enough power here for the road. So do you need a 1000 for the street? Our 1000 is more streetable. Well, after having ridden both now, I would say actually 1000s are more streetable because you have that power down low, but there is plenty of power in this too. There's more than enough power here for the street. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. But the 1000s are maybe a bit more streetable, because you get that torque, you know, earlier in the rev range, or also that's why naked bikes are so popular too, because they're retuned to have the torque lower in the rev range. Now the side effect of that is you don't have as much rev, right? Like it cuts out sooner. But do you need that? I guess that's for you to decide. That much speed, just in case there's a deer or an animal or something. I always like to brake before we come over any kind of a blind rise. Alright, we probably need to wrap this up pretty soon here, because I think this video is getting long. We're still kind of starting to get acclimated to the riding position here. It's taking a little bit. It's quite demanding on the hips and the low back. So that's just how these are. If you guys are wondering and you haven't been on a 600, I would say that this riding position is more demanding than the Busa was. That was more relaxed. The ZX14 is more relaxed. The R1 was maybe even more relaxed than this. A little more roomy is what I mean. But this is quite committed, but it still feels pretty good. You can get up in second here so we're not rubbing the nuts off this thing. All right, so you can sit up like this, right? Go to one hand. You can just cruise. And it's not bad. Put your hand on the tank or something, right? And scoot your butt all the way forward. This isn't bad. You can cruise like this for quite a while, no problem, right? When you're down in it though, you'll start to feel it in the back of your neck and your upper back and such. Keep your back straight if you can, unless you're full tuck, of course. But yeah, it's the Ergos are definitely committed, but that's okay. The motor is extremely smooth in this motorcycle. It's running quite well. A little snatchy from idle, but that's probably a tuning issue. The brakes are excellent. I would say these Nissan 4-pots up front are more than enough to stop this motorcycle. The feel is good. The stopping power is basically everything I need it to be, at least right now. Once I get it on the track, we start getting more aggressive with it, I may feel differently. But for now, the rear brake feels fine. It's there, it works. It's not immediate, so you have nothing, and then brake, like some rear brakes are, like this 19 speed triple that we had. That brake was like, here's just rear brake. Okay, that's just rear brake. Stops the bike pretty well. I mean, it's you can't probably tell in the video, but it was stopping okay. I don't want to lock up the rear. It's fine, it works. Use it for short braking and such. The suspension's quite stiff, but that's how it's set up right now. I will probably loosen this up a bit for the street, and we've got the best part of the bike, the floppy mirror thing. No, I'm just kidding. We'll get that fixed. that's considered short shifting on these bikes down around 8 or 9. Around that corner, I wasn't even hitting it fast at all. I go faster at my GoPro 750, but you can tell that that is what these bikes are made for, right? Like leaning over, these bikes just love to be leaned over, and they're actually more comfortable. At least it is for me. When I'm leaned over, it's more comfortable because that's just what they're meant to do. So as you're leaned over like that, it's like the bike like settles in, and that's like where it wants to be. The headlights in this seem to be quite good. It's getting dark now. I have the brights on. They're projector headlamps. They seem to be quite good. You got 2 of them as opposed to the single headlight you get on some other motorcycles. Still got some power there. Between 8 and 10. You got some nice power there. It's not bad. Oh yeah, that feels really good. It feels really good in the side tire. These Pilot Power 2 CTs aren't, some people really don't like these tires, but I think they feel pretty fine. They feel okay. Alright, I think that we might flip a U and hit that one more time, for the fun of it. Alright guys, we're going to hit these twisties again here, but I think we should probably sign out. So, once again, if you guys like this content, make sure you like and subscribe. This is a pretty weird first ride for me, being on the 600 Super Sport for the first time, so I appreciate you guys. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to hit these twisties again. Might use this, some B-roll, might leave it in. We'll see. But it's getting dark out, so we probably should end this video.